Alrighty. Peace, love, bliss to the people, to the planet, to the chosen. I'm your host, Shabar Israel, once again on this beautiful, brilliant day, bringing you another lesson, guys. And the topic of discussion I will be concerning the terms that we use. I will be talking about the term bad. We use BAD, which is bad. We use the devil, which is DEVIL. We use that. And we also use Satan, which is SATAN. So what is bad? What is the devil? What is Satan? Again, what is bad? What is the devil? What is Satan? So I think that would be the topic of discussion. What is bad? What is the devil? And what is Satan? Okay, now, you might need a Bible. In fact, you will need a Bible for this, so you can get your Bible. When you look into the Bible, I did my research. So when you look into the Bible, you will come across the word bad, B-A-D, 18 times and 17 verses. So when you look at the word bad, B-A-D, you're going to come across it how many times? You're going to come across it 18 times and 17 verses. Bad. All right? Actually, I was doing some meditation and I received this knowledge that bad was long time ago actually a sentence or an acronym, you can say. So the word bad stems from an acronym. Now, what is that acronym? See, when you bad, it is becoming a devil, if not already being a devil. So the word bad, again, is becoming a devil, if not already being a devil. Becoming a devil or being a devil is interchangeable. I don't want to use demon because demon is not even in the Bible, if you didn't know that. So the word demon is not in the Bible. Old or New Testament, demon is not in the Bible. Because we hear a lot of we hear a lot of people talking about demons, especially in the Christian world, spiritual world. We hear the term demon, but it's not in the Bible, the Old or New Testament. But we will, however, encounter devil. All right, so when a person says, oh, he's bad, she's bad, the children, the kids, they're bad, it's an acronym, guys, and I received this from meditation. So it's an acronym: becoming a devil, if not already being a devil. Or you can interchange it: becoming a demon, if not already being a demon, or becoming a druid, if not already being a druid, or becoming a deceiver, if not already being a deceiver. You can interchange it, but it's the primary revelation that I received through meditation is becoming a devil, if not already being a devil. So yeah, guys, we're gonna look at some things in the Bible. So let's look at St. John chapter 6 verse 70. So this is St. John chapter 6 verse 70. Now watch this. The Messiah, who they call Jesus, who we know as Yahweh Shai, what did he answer concerning the 12 apostles? St. John 6 and 70. The Messiah answered them, have not I chosen you 12, and one of you is a devil. See that? So the Messiah called one out of the 12 of his disciples, his apostles, a devil. So we know the devil is not this creature with pointy horns and pitchfork and gross steep look with a tail. We know that's not the devil, because through tradition and philosophy and the rudiments of the world, you know, you have been led to believe that the devil is a red man with pitchfork with pointy horns and a tail. But that's not the devil, because we can see here, even the Messiah calls One of his apostles out of the 12, one of his disciples out of the 12 a devil. And this is St. John chapter 6, verse 70. The Messiah answered them, have not I chosen you 12, and one of you is a devil. Now, who was that devil? St. John 6 and verse 71. He spake of Judas Iscariot. Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon, for he it was that should betray him, being one of the 12. So out of the 12 apostles, or some may say disciples, who was the devil that betrayed the Messiah, the Son of God? It was Judas Iscariot. Now, did Judas Iscariot look like a red man with pitchfork and pointy horns and a tail? Absolutely not. So we have to do our homework to enter and understand truly what the devil means. So when we go into the Greek concordance, because the New Testament that we read was written in Greek primarily, so we will have to look at the term devil in the Greek concordance to see what it was before they translated it. So the word devil in Greek, it takes you to, the word devil in Greek is diabolos. 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 That's where you get also the term diabolical from. Because you can see diabolos in the term diabolical. Some may say you're a diabolical person. That means you are notorious. You are wicked and evil. So that's what they would say. You are a diabolical person. Diabolical. Diabolos. Diabolos in Greek is how you would say the devil translated to English. So if you want to say devil in Greek, diabolos, which is Greek 1228 in the concordance, and it means to be slanderous. It means to be slanderous. So guess what, guys? Anybody can be a devil. Anybody can be a devil. It's not just, it's the indication is not pointed to just one specific person. Anyone can be the devil. That's why I told you when I was meditating, I received that acronym for the term bad. Bad is becoming a devil, if not already being a devil. All right? So now I'm going to go further. And so yeah, I'm going to go further. So that pretty much sums it up for devil. We know that devil occurs 61 times in 57 verses in the Bible. The word devil occurs 61 times in 57 verses in the Bible. However, we know that demon is not in the Bible. D-E-M-O-N is not in the Bible. So they didn't say that you was possessed with a demon or you had demons on you. They said you had devils on you. Or you was possessed with a devil. Diabolos, which means a slanderous spirit. So you, slanderous spirit. The word devil just means deceiver. In other words, to make a long story short. Now, I'm going to the term Satan. I'm going to the term Satan, people. Now watch this. Now who is Satan? Because we've been led to believe the same thing. We've been led to believe that Satan is a red man with pitchfork and pointy horns and a tail. But is that so? Let's see. So let's go to Mark 8 and 33 in the New Testament. This is St. Mark 8 verse 33. But when he had turned about and looked on his disciples, he rebuked Peter, saying, Get thee behind me, Satan, for thou savorest not the things that be of God, but the things that be of men. So this is the Messiah, who the world calls Jesus Christ, who we know as Yahushua, again calling one of his disciples or apostles, what? He calls him Satan. Now we showed you already, just previously we showed you already, that the same Messiah who you know as Jesus Christ, Yahushua, the same Messiah in John chapter 6 verse 70 called one of his apostles or disciples or what? A devil. Right? Now, here we are in St. Mark chapter 8 verse 33, and the Messiah, who we know as Jesus Christ, also Yahweh Shai, calls one of his apostles, his disciples again. He calls him not the devil this time, but he calls him Satan. Who was that? He called Peter Satan. In St. Mark chapter 8 verse 33, he calls Peter Satan. So I don't think Satan is a red man with pointy horns, pitchfork, and a tail. I don't think that's how Satan actually looks. We've been taught that through the rudiments of the world and traditional and through philosophy and various religions that is full of deceit. We've been taught that. You understand? But Satan can be anybody. Just like the devil can be anybody. Satan can be anybody. Because we have to enter and understand what Satan means. So what does Satan means? Again, now the New Testament was written in what? Greek. So when you go into the Greek concordance for the term Satan, it would be Greek 4567, which says Satanas. Satanas. Or some may say Satanus, but Satanas. Now, I feel bad if you name your daughter Santana, because that means Satan in Greek. You know, I know some parents name their daughters Santana. Now, for all of you Santanas out there, I'm not taking a shot at you. I'm not taking a punch at you. I'm not defaming you in any kind of way. I'm just saying, if your parents name you Santana, that's not a good thing, because Santanas in Greek means Satan. Check it out for yourself. Greek 4567, Santanas. And it means Satan in Greek, which means the adversary. So another word for Satan in Greek, Santanas, is the adversary. Now anybody can be the adversary. Anybody can be the adversary. So actually, in Mark 8 and 33, when the Messiah told Peter to get behind him and called him Satan, he was actually saying that Peter was an adversary. He was saying that Peter, that's why he said that he says, for thou servest not the things that be of God. Because when you are against the things of the Most High, you are adversary to that. Because the Most High is about righteous fulfillment. The Most High is about righteous and pious things. So when you are against righteous and pious things, you become the adversary, aka Satan, Santanus. You understand? So that's what Satan means. It just means the adversary. Anybody can be Satan. Anybody can be the devil. Again, what the word devil means, diabolos in Greek, which means slanderous or deceiver. Anybody can slander you or be a deceiver. So anybody can be the devil, right? Anybody can be an adversary, which is Santanas, Satan. All right? So now, do you not know, guys? Because I got to shoot this one to you. I know this might blow your mind. It might not. It might blow some of your mind. It might not. You know who we call God, the supreme creator, the mighty all, the mighty one, the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who we call God, the great creator? Don't you know he's also referred to as Satan in the Bible? The same person who we call the Most High, the creator, the ultimate supreme creator, he's known as Satan in the Bible. Grasp that. Now, the word Satan, before I go any further, the word anyone can be Satan. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Even the Most High. Anyone can be Satan. Even the angels of the Most High can be Satan. And in fact, I'm going to show you all of that. So let me deal with this. Let me deal with this one first. Let me show you that the Most High is also known as Satan in the Bible. Watch this. Let's go to 1 Chronicles 21 in the Old Testament. 1 Chronicles 21. I'm not playing, guys. You're going to get this today. You're going to enter and understand what I'm saying. Because enough of the crap, enough of these traditional ways that we've been taught. It's time to really start seeing with the eye of intellect. So this is First Chronicles 21 and 1. Here we go. I'm going to show you that the Most High is known as Satan too. So Satan and the devil is not bad. They are not bad labels. It's according to the situation. It's just according to the situation. What's good to others is bad to some. And what's bad to some is good for others. You understand? So you might be Satan, and that might be a good thing to others, but you might be Satan, and that might be a good thing to some, but bad to others. You might be the devil, that might be a good thing to some, but bad to the others. It just depends. So this is First Chronicles 21, verse 1. Alright? I'm going to show you that the Most High is known as Satan. First Chronicles 21 and 1. And Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. So we see right there in First Chronicles 21 and 1, it says, and Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. Now, who is that when it says Satan stood up against Israel to provoke David to number Israel? That's talking about the Most High. If you didn't know that, how do we know that First Chronicles 21 and 1, when it refers to Satan, that's talking about the Most High that stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel? Because when you go into 2 Samuel, the 24th chapter, and you start from the top, it's going to tell you that that's the Most High. Because that's the precept of that. So again, in 1 Chronicles 21 verse 1, when it says Satan stood up against Israel, that is who you call God. That's who you call the Creator. That's who you call the Most High. Now watch this. Let me give you the precept. Here is 2 Samuel 24 verse 1. Okay, 2 Samuel 24 verse 1. Prove all things, right? Here it is. 2 Samuel 24 verse 1. And again, the anger of the Lord. That's who you call the Most High. That's who you call the Creator. That's who you call God. It says again, the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he moved David against them to say, go number Israel and Judah. Now, ain't that the same thing First Chronicles 21 verse 1 said? We are in 2 Samuel 24 verse 1. And it says, 2 Samuel 24 verse 1, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he moved David against them to say, go number Israel and Judah. You see that? So now when we go back to 1 Chronicles 21 and 1, we'll see it says, and again the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he moved David to do what? To go and number Israel. That was in 2 Samuel 24 and verse 1, right? Let's go back to 1 Chronicles 21 and 1, and we'll see who Satan is. So 1 Chronicles 21 and 1, we can put it together now. 1 Chronicles 21 and 1. And Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. Now what did that say in 2 Samuel 24 and verse 1? It said the Lord. So the Lord is known as Satan. Anybody can be known as Satan, man. But what we led to believe, we can't talk about Satan. We every time we say Satan, Satan is negative. Like, I don't even want to say Satan because I'm afraid of some negative energy falling upon me. You understand? I don't want to talk about the devil, none of that, because we always been led to believe that Satan and the devil, we always been led to believe that will put some type of misfortune over us or put some type of negative energy on us. But now you know that anybody can be the devil or Satan, even God and the angels. You understand? Now what was going on? Let me explain, because I know a lot of you saying, well, why in the hell in 1 Chronicles 21 and 1 did it say that Satan stood up against Israel? And we can see thus far, since you've shown us this, we can see that Satan is the Most High. But so what's going on? Why did it say that? What problem did God have with Israel? Well, let me explain it. See, when Israel subdued the heathen nations, when they subdued these heathen nations, they thought that their accomplishments on subduing those heathen nations, they thought that the might was in their own hand. You understand? Because we know that Israel subdued and conquered many heathen nations. So when Israel was subduing these heathen nations, they thought that they accomplished these things by their own might. And see, and this angered the Most High, and he became their adversary, inciting David to number Israel. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why it says in 1 Chronicles 21:1, and Satan stood up against Israel, because because Israel had, the God of Israel had became the adversary of its own people, because they took credit for defeating the heathen nations, and they highly esteemed themselves for all their accomplishments, thinking that it was in their own might, when actually the God was helping them. So God became pissed off and became an adversary to his own people. Thus, in 1 Chronicles 21:1, it says Satan stood up against Israel. Now, I already showed you that the Most High can also be known as Satan, right? So we don't clear that. Now I'm going to show you that the angels of the Most High can be known as Satan. This is Numbers, the 22nd chapter. Watch this, the Numbers, the 22nd chapter. Yes, the angels of the Most High can also be known as Satan. Numbers 22, verse 21. So this is Numbers, the 22nd chapter, starting with the 21st verse, and I'll stop on the 22nd verse. And Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass, donkey, and went with the princes of Moab. Numbers 22, verse 22. And God's anger was kindled because he went, and the anger in the Salakia, and the angel of the Lord stood in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his two servants was with him. So now we know about this story about Balaam and the donkey, right? So it says in Numbers 22:22 that God's anger was kindled against Balaam, right? And it says that the angel of the Lord stood in the way for an adversary against him. This is Numbers 22:22. So it says the angel of the Lord stood in the way for an adversary. When you go into the Hebrew for adversary, it would be Hebrew 78:54 for adversary. And guess what it says in Hebrew 78:54? Satan. This is Numbers 22, verse 22. When it says the angel of the Lord stood in the way for an adversary against Balaam. Right? That adversary in the Hebrew is 78:54 in the Hebrew concordance, which is Satan. So even the angels can be known as Satan. Last but not least, even the Most High can be known as Satan. Anybody can be known as Satan. Jesus, who we know as Yahushua, the Messiah, called Peter Satan. And in Luke chapter 4, verse 8, he says, Satan, get behind me. Now, who was that Satan he was talking to in Luke 4:8? This is the last book, chapter, and verse. And then I'm out. Luke 4:8 in the New Testament. Because really, you can just read Luke, the 4th chapter, and it'll tell you how the Messiah was full of the Holy Ghost, and he was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. Now, was this a man with pitchfork, pointy horns, ears and tail, red skin? Was it that? Absolutely not. It don't say who the individual was, but he was led in the wilderness by the Spirit to be tempted of the devil. It was somebody that was very slanderous and deceptive. That's what it was. But it wasn't no red man with pointy horns, pitchfork, and a tail. You understand? Then it goes on to say in Luke chapter 4, verse 8, when you read on down, it said, and Jesus said unto him, get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord your God, and him only shalt thou serve. So he tells the devil, the slanderous person, whoever it was, He tells that slanderous person, he says, get behind me what? Get behind me, Satan. Because what Satan means. What Satan means. Because we read in the New Testament again. So what Satan mean in the Greek? Satanas, which mean adversary. So he tells the adversary to get behind him because obvious it was some type of individual that was against his plans of righteousness. It was an individual that was against his spiritual walk. So it was thus Satan. It was an adversary, because the adversary, the word adversary means to be against. Anybody can be called a devil. Anybody can be called an adversary. Anybody can be called a devil. Anybody can be called Satan, man. So guys, share the video with family and friends. Once again, until the next edition, peace and much love. Peace and blessings to you all. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. Support this movement, Solid Foundation Israelite Academy. I am your host, Shabar Judah Israel. Until next edition, we say Shalom.